and this oil will end up rising to the top. And I just extract that oil, put it in this jar. I want to clean the spot step looking right dry with the hand. Beaver felt my trap under his foot and kind of swiped some dirt away. Didn't dig up the trap, so that's a plus. Well, we got a gray fox today. First batch of Alaskan traps going in. That's pretty cool. Here we go. Well, welcome to the Beaver Retriever channel, where I bring you along showing you my lifestyle. And today's the opening day of coyote trapping. We are gathering up my traps and doing some final preparations that I should have done last night, but I was so tired yesterday I didn't get it done last night. And then we're going to go start setting some traps. We're hopefully going to set about a dozen today. That's what I kind of have for a goal, so let's see what happens. So yesterday though, I should have sifted out my dirts. I still have to sift out my anthill dirt and still have to sift out my peat moss that I use. But it'll take me no time. So we're going to do that real quick and we'll start setting some traps. I got a local pit we're going to start at. And I have a friend that wanted me to trap at their property over a couple towns over. So I'll set a couple traps there. I'm going to come home, do some more stuff at home. And then I got on the other side of my house is an old road. We're going to go down that way and set a bunch of traps. Yeah, so I gathered some anthill dirt the other day. Yeah, so usually I wax my dirt. This will be the first year of never waxing dirt. That I get flake wax and mix it with this anthill dirt and make it right on my wood stove. And makes it so that the dirt's waterproof. It's freeze proof. It won't freeze. It's pretty good stuff. But this year I was going to try something. I was going to try it without it. Yeah, so I throw down some fir boughs. I always put mixed fir boughs in with all my dirt and all my traps and stuff. Just kind of gives it that better smell. And sift out a bunch of dirt. Alright, so we can call that good. Yeah, so I got a bale of peat moss here. I've been using peat moss ever since I started trapping. Just it's nice and spongy. All right, so we're just gonna sift a bunch of this. I can't. Just do little batches. Yeah, and this stuff is so fine and fluffy that it lets the pan fall down when the critter steps on it. Instead of using a pan cover, I don't want to deal with pan covers. So this peat moss doesn't really need to be sifted, but I do sift it. Try to get out some of this chunkier stuff. And this stuff's actually some of the cleaner stuff I've had over the years. I've had some stuff that was pretty shitty. So this is some nice fine stuff, but we still sift it. It's just good to make sure it's all sifted through my homemade screen. Yeah, this is a little time consuming. Definitely should have done this beforehand. Alright, that should be good enough. I'm gonna go home, grab some traps, some bait, my trapping tools. I think that's it. 1, 2. Alright, now we got my trapping bucket, which has got my hammer, my driver for my anchors. One thing I don't have is 2 containers for dirt, which I might buy this morning. We'll stop in a store and buy a couple of containers. I'll put a little bit of my peat moss and my dirt in each of them containers, and just put it in here. And all I have to do is carry this to my site, not back and forth. I hate to travel back and forth. I want the least amount of traffic in this area. I want them not to smell us. That's like the biggest freaking thing of this coyote trapping. But they are very wary animal. There's a reason they're on top. They don't put their life in danger. If anything smells off or feels off, they're not going. A few anchors I got. I only got 4 anchors. But I just did put 3 more in the pot over there, and we'll pull 3 more, so that gives me another half dozen. So a lot of spots we're setting today, I've already got an anchor in the ground. I'm actually trying that this year too, just leave them in the ground and set trap right at it again. Alright, so here's my bait. We got fresh deer meat from a roadkill not long ago. That's year-old deer meat. That's usually the best bait I've ever used. So some people are out there, oh, you gotta buy it. You gotta buy your bait. Buy. No. I don't buy fucking nothing if I don't have to. I am fucking low budget, fucking don't want to spend all my... Fucking coyotes go for like $10 a piece. I'm not spending money on shit. I would rather use my homemade shit. Yes, I made my own beaver tail oil this year. You take beaver tails and cut them up and put them in a jar in the hot sun. and this oil will end up rising to the top, and I just extract that oil, put it in this jar. Now we got some beaver tail oil. All right, here we go. Me and Boss Dog, we're off to freaking set some traps finally. Yeah, so a week from today starts beaver trapping. This is the first river I'll be going down. It's this one right here. Actually, active beaver right up through there. There's a beaver dam right there. So I don't know if they're still there. Looks like it's still holding back water pretty good. So no, I plan on going down this one with a canoe. We'll start up above. I'll go down through here with a canoe. Alright, so this is the first area I'm going to set. This is a gravel pit. I've been setting this place for years now, so I actually got some old anchors, I believe, still in the ground. Alright, so I'm going to try to find that anchor. Pretty sure I left the anchor in here. Maybe I didn't. Nope, there it is. Nice. After I fucked up the hole, but we're still going to just go with it. Yeah, so let's put the dog in the truck here in a minute. I'm checking this out. I don't know where he is. Boss, come! Hammer them swivels down into the center of this trap bed. So I'm going to throw down some of that anthill dirt just to get nice and fine dirt. Yeah, so he's going to throw some peat moss right over the top of it like this. And this dirt on top just for like a blending. Leaves here, bring everything in. You don't want to give them much space around the trap for a clean spot to step. You want the cleanest spot to step looking right by the pan. Like right there. That's where I want them to step. Alright, we got the dog all wrangled in. Now we're going to do the dirt hole, which I was supposed to do before now, so I'm going to put it right in the back. So I'm going to do some old deer meat. This one, this is year-old deer meat. There, yes, we'll try it. We'll give them a couple of pieces, just so if they get one, they'll come back for another. Alright, well I forgot to lure that, so I always put lure there, not just bait, put some lure. So we got some of that beaver tail oil we just pulled off my woodshed roof. Put that on the end of a stick, put it on the back side of this hole, just to kind of draw their attention a little bit. Yeah, so the first thing we're going to do is take my driver here and make sure I can drive a stake down right here. Rocks down there right now. Oh, grabbing it. Fucking egg. If it sunk down there deep enough. It. A hole right here in the back for the bait. Roadkill deer meat. Let's try her out. Man, I almost want to eat it. Good stuff. Alright, finally got some iron in the ground. So that's the process. That's 2 in the ground. We're gonna go to my friend's house, set hopefully 2 there, and then we'll go out to an old woods road by my house and set a few more over there. So probably won't show you the process of every single one, but in essence now you see it. But I'll show you the end result on the next couple, and maybe tell you why I picked that area. Like this here's kind of like a pinch point. We got a big so we got a big mound up on this side, huge mound. Like that thing's probably 20 feet tall, 15, 20 feet tall. And then we got a shitload of like alders and real thicket stuff. So this is kind of a pinch point from coming out from that bigger field out back up into this gravel pit. I'll come up this gravel pit looking for mice and shit, and actually got a bunch of dens in this pit, so fox do. So that's why I kind of chose this location. I'm done making the set, I try to drive right over the edge, making a tire track. So we'll back up without setting off the trap though too. That is pretty good. Do a couple of times. Alright, off to the next location. Alright, so we're down to a friend's trapping for him, and we got a trap down below right here. Trap is actually right past that apple tree. It's kind of a cut in the trees there that kind of got a road going down through there, so I set a trap there. And we got these old stumps over here in the middle of this freaking field area, kind of stick out, and I put a trap down on the back side of that. And I got a trap right there, so that's a nice spot, I think. So that's my two sets here. Alright, so I took a break from trapping for a little while and helped gathering some birch poles. We got a birch pole order that my father's heading up north tomorrow with, so you see our car trailer's right loaded back there. I got a pretty good load on here. I know we sell these small birch poles, make good money on this stuff. So I didn't realize he was heading up tomorrow, so we're hammering this out right now, and then we'll get back to trapping. So I still think I'll get my dozen traps in today. Yeah, so our property is right full of these birch poles, so I go through and cut a bunch, and now I'm hauling them out. This order was for 800 pieces. We've already brought up 400, so this is the other 400. We're loading up some big ones here. These are 4-inch top, 5 foot long, and I think I need to get 33 on the truck, which I think I got right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 30, 31, 32, 33. So I'm going to go offload them, then I'm going to come back out for 20 of these ones here, which that was the rest of the truck. Yeah, last one. Yeah. It's a lot of birch poles, so this company orders a lot of freaking poles from us, so that's pretty cool. Some extra money. This has actually helped me go to Alaska, this money, so nice. Yeah, so this is an early coyote and fox season, so that's all we can keep is coyote and fox. So I got this board here that I use to release critters, like if we catch a bobcat or fisher or anything like that, we can release with this thing. And how this works is there's a notch down at the bottom of that board there, right there by my foot, that I can slide. I can put this over the critter's paw and have the trap on this side, and the critter will be on the other side of this plywood. I can release the trap and they will run off. So I used to work for the state trapping in deer yards, and there I could only keep coyotes, so all the way through season. So I released a lot of fisher and a lot of fox and a lot of not a lot of bobcat, but a few. I probably released I think three, 4 maybe. Final set for today is set. This will be number 11. This is down on my property. This is an old spot. These rocks been there. Trap's right there. So there's an anthill down there, so I set another trap down there right at it. So hopefully tomorrow morning we might have something. Alright, me and boss headed up to check traps this morning. We got up super early and I got a job to go do today, so I got to, I'm going to check these wicked early. Usually I check them right about at daylight. And right now we're about an hour ahead of daylight. Nothing in the first 2 traps. Kind of takes a few days for my scent to wear away, I think. So, who knows? We'll find out. There's 2 down. We got 9 more to go. Yep, nothing yet. So we got 4 more traps to go. We just checked the ones in the pit. I had my first dig up. Wasn't quite a dig up, but you can see the. It's hard to light yet, but you can see the jaw right there. Yeah, what the fuck? That sucks. He either felt my trap under his foot and kind of swiped some dirt away, didn't dig up the trap, so that's a plus. But he definitely knew something was up there, and that sucks because that's behind my friend's house that wants me to get early coyotes for him. So that kind of sucks. So looks like it's gonna be a long couple weeks trying to catch that little fucker. All right, coming down to the last traps, 2 that I set last night on my own property. I don't see anything jumping, so usually if there's a coyote in there, you'd see it jumping wicked. That set's still good, and that set's still good. Yep, no coyotes today. Sucks. That freaking one dug up my freaking jaws in that trap. That sucks. That's a wise coyote. It's gonna be hard to catch that one. Yeah, so we're headed to check some traps this morning. So hopefully today's the day we catch one. Alright, first two is nothing. This one's got a freaking... I'm gonna have to fix that. Get this thing right here, it's kind of down in the way. I'm actually, since I touched it, I'm just gonna pick the whole thing and throw it right in my truck. Yep, definitely nothing there. Can't see the trap. Oh, I can see the trap. Yeah, if I can see the trap like that, I gotta fix that. Freaking poured last night, so we're gonna have to fix some traps today, I think. Alright, I'm gonna try to fix this, because you can see, definitely see the jaw right there. See my jaw? That black right there? All it takes is that. The coyote would not step there. They would see that with their handy dandy vision. Alright, on to the next ones. Yeah, so like 4 or 5 years ago, I come up to a coyote in a trap, and the window is down, about like it is now. And a dog come out from behind me and jumped out my window and tackled the coyote. I actually had to hit freaking boss to get him to stop attacking the coyote for me to shoot the coyote. Like, holy shit, freaking badass freaking boss dog here. Yeah, nothing so far. Just a bunch of freaking pans and jaws showing. It freaking poured last night, and that sucks. It always washes the dirt off the top of your trap. So we're covering them up just a little bit, and hopefully that's good enough. Hopefully this freaking doesn't keep raining. I think it is. I think it's supposed to rain for some more this week. So it's crazy, but nice freaking weather all freaking season. Then the freaking day after I set traps, starts our rainy season. There's another one. Just part of the pan is showing. They can see metal. So we're just gonna put a fine coating of some more dirt over the top. Yeah, another thing after a big rain is I get a bunch of leaves in the trap beds. Look at that. That trap would not go off. And if it did, the foot would just slip right out of there. All them leaves next to it. So I'm gonna get them all cleaned out of there. Yeah, so the deer have been eating my pumpkins in the last week or so, so I got a huge pumpkin patch this year. This might be the last time I'll be hunting down below. I might start hunting there. Well, no deer today, so we'll try again tomorrow. My boss headed out to check traps this morning. Actually headed out after daylight today. This trap one still looks good. Nothing yet, so I actually want to try something I've tried over the years a couple of times, but not a lot. But I got a rabbit squealer here. Maybe we can call a coyote into this area, because I don't think they're over here. So we'll do some squealing. Yeah, hopefully something like that would draw in coyote, fox, anything really. Alright, so we'll see tomorrow if there's a freaking coyote here. I would freaking say that did something. Yeah, definitely needs some colder weather, I think. So it has been pretty warm. When last week it was freaking cold, below freezing at nighttime. Just hearing the coyotes off in the distance from my house every night, howling. Now I haven't heard a freaking thing now it's warm out. They don't really move much when it's warm out. Too freaking hot. They're putting on their winter coat. Well, I just had my first miss. I forgot to freaking videotape it. Out behind my friend's house here. Freaking trap was set off. A little bit of coyote fur in it. And the trap was taut. And the chain was tight off to one side. So, that sucks. Fucking A. Missed a chance on that coyote. Yeah, so today we're gonna finish picking some pumpkins. Hopefully pick the rest of the pumpkins in the patch and get down to the pumpkin stand. So I've already harvested about 1,000 pumpkins, so I probably still got another 150, maybe 200 left. So been an epic year for me, best year yet. So that's nice. Now the deer are starting to get them, so we're starting to pick all what's left. Get down to the farm stand before the deer end up eating them all. Freaking deer just can't eat the whole pumpkin, can they? Nice little light one. Hey, I got another whole trailer load picked, so we got quite a few pumpkins down here in the pumpkin stand now. Put them all for $1 a piece. Still a good selection of pumpkins left. Here's the farm stand. If you haven't been following me, if you followed me a couple weeks ago, you would have seen me build that and everything. Only birch poles. My father put a few of his birch stuff down here. He used to make all these birch things. Made some like pencil holders and coffee mug holders, and a few baskets, coat rack. He used to do all kinds of that little woodwork and stuff back in the day. Yeah, so now we're out in the tree stand. We're actually trying a different spot tonight. We're right on the edge of my pumpkin patch here. So, two pumpkins out there that have been eaten on, so hopefully they'll come out and eat them. They actually were out here at 8:30 this morning. So, hopefully they come back. Yeah, another day. Boss out checking traps again. So I heard some coyotes at my house this morning, so hopefully I got one down behind my house there. But we're gonna check them last. So coming up to my first set. Never ending battle with these freaking leaves. Oh yeah, and the dirt's washed down, so I gotta clean this trap up. There's a bunch of holes where the dirt is washed down in under my pan there. Well, we got a gray fox today. That's only the third gray fox I've ever caught. Well, there's not many gray fox around this area, so I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna let him go. Yeah, there's not many gray fox in this area, so I'll keep a red fox, but I ain't gonna keep the gray. I'll let him go. All right, so we're gonna take this board. I got my board out here with the notch cut out in the bottom of it there. Oh, there's my phone. So we're gonna go up and put this over its back leg and release them. Like I said, there's not many gray fox in this area. Them things are cool, nice looking. Yes. All right, we're gonna release you, buddy. Okay, we're gonna release you. You're gonna be good. There you go, buddy. Yeah, wish that was a freaking coyote. All right, now we're gonna do a remake and continue on the line. Yeah, that board worked great for releasing critters. So, especially a little fox like that. Freaking bobcat. Bobcat would be clawing at that freaking board or biting the edge of the board till you release them. Once you release them, they might sit there for a second, but then they'll scurry along just like that freaking fox just did. Down that trap bed again. Today's the day I know I'm going to have a coyote somewhere along the line. Probably the last trap of the day. So back when I waxed traps, I'd always change out the trap. So once you catch a critter, the wax will be just worn right off of it. But since I'm not waxing them this year, I'm going to reset the trap. The biggest thing. Need them to be able to work this set and step all around here trying to get to that bait before they finally do probably step on the pan. Step over here and see the trap, all the dirt move underneath them is when they freaking pull the dirt off the trap, and if they catch it right, they'll flip your trap right over, and then they'll come in for your bait. Smart, very smart. Coyotes being hard to catch, I think is why I like trapping coyotes. I like a challenge, I guess. They are challenging. Yeah, I feel like that was the responsible thing to do. We don't have many fox around here, and they're not worth a whole hell of a lot, so I might as well release them. I kind of get quite a bit of enjoyment out of releasing them. This spot isn't going to work with the rain here. Somebody else has driven through here, and when they come through this puddle here fast, it freaking comes up and washed all the freaking dirt all around in my trap. Yeah, but yeah, we're going to move back up here. There's a bank here. Just set up against that bank. Alright, we got that remade. We set it up back here. It's a little better, a little further away from that puddle there. Now I got a fisher here at my friend's house there. I've been missing the coyote. It's only fox and coyote season, so I have to release this. So there we go. Let's release a fisher. These things are pretty feisty. Right, little buddy? Got a nice gray head to you. Looks like it might be a female. Pretty small. Shit. And here it goes. Yep, son of a bitch. Can't catch a fucking coyote for the life of me. That fisher had this place tore right up. All the catch people. Shoot any branches it could. This is all the debris I just pulled out from in the trap here. So we released two critters today. Can't freaking catch a break. I want to catch a coyote. Alright, there's my remake. So that's the one we missed the coyote in yesterday. Alright, we're out of here. Well, it was still an exciting day on the line. At least I caught the gray fox and the fisher today and released them. It's always fun releasing critters. So eventually I'll catch a coyote, I hope. So we're gonna I say Saturday, probably set some more traps. I'm gonna try some crayfish. That was one of my #1 hitting baits there a few years ago. So let's try some crayfish. All I've been using is deer. So. Yeah, well, I fucking missed. I pulled a muscle in my arm. Wicked when I pulled back. And then right before that deer got to me, which actually it was a spike horn, it was back. But right before it got to me, I freaking lost it and it went forward. And the second time I pulled back, it was just so uncomfortable. And finally, it was within probably about 12 to 15 yards. I let loose, but it weren't good. But I can't find that arrow. Yeah, so I'm gonna go grab my truck and get a better flashlight and try to locate my arrow. Alright, so we found the arrow. Where is it again? Oh, so my arrow is right here. It does not look like any blood on it. Yep, examine the arrow all over. I don't see no fur. No blood. No, definitely a clean mess. Yeah, that sucks. My freaking arm is still killing me. Freaking pulled the muscle bad that first time we pulled it back, and then when the deer was just about to me, I lost pressure. Bow went ahead, and then I pulled back again, and my elbow was hitting the tree behind me, and just everything was not adding up right. Should be getting my deer right now, but that's how it is. They don't call it killing, they call it hunting. Doing the trap check this morning. Here's where we let go of that gray fox yesterday. It is nothing. Yeah, eventually I'll catch some coyotes. It's kind of bumming me out. I figured I'd have at least one in the first few days. Well, we got a fox. That's what we got. Got a little fox. Good catch on him. Yep, we got a fox. Yeah, so we just pulled the trap and everything. Buddy's got his truck parked in the way, and I ain't freaking walking with all my stuff out here, so we got the fox right in the trap. We're headed back, so that's the first catch of the year that I was able to kill. Yeah, finally caught a red fox. Now I wish it was a coyote, but I'll take out a couple of red foxes, no problem. There's plenty of red fox in this area. Got my first coyote of the season down here on my property. Last trap of the day. Hopefully he doesn't slip out by the time I get there. I'm just walking over to him. Sweet, we're on the board. Finally. Especially in my area. Get him the hell out of here. Nice. Alright, we're gonna get the truck over here, get him out of the trap, and do a remake. Yeah, so this one was the one that was on the ant mound. And there is no ant mound left no more. But we're just gonna make something do here. It's fine. Coyote's gonna smell the coyote, the scent from this coyote, so. Yeah, so I got that all remade. Hopefully we'll catch another one there. Hopefully we'll catch that blonde one I got on camera about a month ago now. Alright, so I usually use crayfish for bait, for coyote bait. So I got a couple of crayfish traps here in this pit pond. Alright, let's see what we got. Oh, there's quite a few in there and a dead frog in there. Looks like they've been eating on the frog. Oh, there's some big crayfish in there. Nice. Oh, this pot. Quite a few in this one. I'm gonna have some crayfish for dinner. Not only coyote bait, but I'll have a small feast of them. And probably some carrots. That sounds good for dinner. So we're gonna start skinning the coyote and the fox here. Now what I do is I skin them, then I wash them right in my farm pond, and then I'll wait till they dry, which is usually the next day. And I'll flush them and put them on a board. Finish up here. Pulling out the tailbone here. Oh, it did not work. If I can. Oh, Jesus, fuck. That fucking tail is not coming out of there. I don't know why this thing's being a fucking pain in the ass. Usually they come out a lot easier than that. Oh, there. Finally. Phew. Tailbone right there. So, this is the hardest part, I think, is up here in the chest area. I get it, but definitely not easy. But just about done. That was a pretty big freaking coyote. Yeah, first coyote of the season. So, like I say, we're going to wash this right in my farm pond. I'm going to skin that fox real quick, and then we'll bring these over to the farm pond. You see all that blood and stuff like that. I'll wash that right out in the pond. Right, now we're going to get to this fox real quick. Call it a day. Right, we're just going to wash these right in the farm pond. Alright, buddy, we know. Wash them out. And even go like this. Yeah. We'll hang that up and let it dry overnight. Now let's do the same to the coyote. Yeah, me and boss out checking traps, daily routine here for the next month or so. Every day. It's not like you get a day off from trapping. You have to check these traps every day. That's why I like beaver trapping a little better than coyote trapping. I can go 3 days in organized townships, like in town areas, or 5-day checks on unorganized townships. So, you know, that's a little better than checking every day, especially checking every day with not catching anything. That's kind of pricey. Spent more money than I made already with that coyote and fox. Yep, nothing in the last 2 traps. Headed down the river in a canoe tomorrow. Opening day of beaver season, so see what we can find. Hopefully set quite a few traps. I'm gonna try to catch 50 beaver in 5 weeks. Yeah, since beaver trapping starts tomorrow, we're gonna throw some of my traps in the boiler today. Try to dye some of them. You usually don't. You don't really have to dye a beaver trap. They'll still go into it even if it's rusty color or not. So I'm actually going to do a bunch of my beaver traps. I'm also going to try to do some of my traps and bring them to Alaska. I'm going to bring a bunch of my 155s and 110s and 220s to Alaska. So we'll pretty much do all my conibears is what we're going to do. Might not do them all today, but we're at least going to start them today. Actually homemade dye. This is just actually hemlock bark and alder bark. Now watch my hands. See how black that is? You can't even see my hand just as soon as it goes under the water there. Alright, first batch of Alaskan traps going in. Somehow. I have to put them down in here, put them down in there. But I can't do them until a minute later. I don't know. I ain't fitting all of them in there. Somehow I got it. Just the end of a couple of the springs there showing. I can throw a little more water to this. Yeah, so I've gone through all my traps, and this is a pile of conibears with triggers broken. This here only has 1/2 of that trigger. So last year I went through and took out the rivet and changed the thing. I don't know if I'm gonna do that this year. I might just weld on a new trigger. Just a couple of rods onto that. So that's the pile that needs to be worked on. This is a pile that's ready to go. There's some more 155s for Alaska. These are all going to be set off. I won't boil them with the trap springs compressed like that, so I'll go through and set them all off. We got a 1/2 footholds. Alright, he's been in here quite a while. I think they're going to be nice and black. Oh, they're hooked onto the freaking conibears too. I guess they're all coming out in one big freaking clump. Come out nice and black. Compared to that, so I actually ended up with 2 dozen or so 155s. Yeah, well, gun season starts in a week from today, so me and my father are out at a local pit here. We're gonna do a little target practicing. Almost a bullseye. Yeah, so in this pit that we're shooting at. There's a foxhole up here in the bank, so I got a light on the GoPro. We're gonna come up here and check it out. Holy, that's freaking awesome. That's pretty cool. Yeah, nice. Alright, now we're gonna try to take care of that fox and that coyote. Jesus, look at the tick on that freaking thing. That's nasty. That's a big old tick. Jesus, I'm gonna try to pick him off and kill him. Don't need them fucking things. Looks like a bunch of deer ticks too on it. Yeah, there is too. Fucking A. Yeah, look at all the deer ticks. That's gross. Yeah, that is gross. Jesus. I think I might have to make a spray. Yeah, look at them all. That's a deer tick. That's a deer tick. I'm not going to process these tonight. I'm actually just going to make some permethrin spray, a pellet in a bag, and try to get that mixture I use for permethrin and water mixture. And I'll mix them up right now, and I'm going to spray this over and kill these ticks before they get on my dogs and shit. There's probably already ticks everywhere in this area. Yeah, so this is what I'm using. This is stuff I buy right at Truck Supply. So I'm actually going to spray them down some before I put them in the bag, and then I'll spray it again. Spray them down again once I put it in the bag. Yeah, that's gross. Ticks everywhere. Oh, jeez, that tick just fell right off when I did that. Huh. Do it just like this. Yeah, so next week's vlog, I'll process the rest of these. So make sure to stay tuned in next week. So now I'm going to spray a bunch inside the bag here and close the bag so all the fumes and everything hopefully will kill all them ticks. Yeah, so I'm going to spray this whole area, knowing there's been ticks all through here. Yeah, well, that sucks. I was hoping to show you the rest of the process of the coyote and the fox, but that's to be continued. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and make sure to stay tuned in next week for more adventures with the Beaver Retriever.